LIFO here with a little explanation of two types of digital buffer. A buffer is basically a small memory, a digital memory, that can hold data and do various things with it, let you do various things with it, depending upon the particular need and application that you have. But what I'd like to do is compare two fundamental types. One of them is called first in, first out, or FIFO, versus last in, first out, or if you like, LIFO. First of all, let me show you an example of how a first in, first out buffer works. Basically, what it does is it takes data as it comes in, holds it for a while, and then spits it out. And what tends to happen as you put data in here is it slides on over to the right hand side, gradually starts to fill up this first in, first out buffer. As you take stuff out, it comes off the right hand side. As you put stuff in, it goes into the left hand side. So you can see that the first stuff you put in is the first stuff that's going to come out. And as it gradually fills up, of course you never want to get it full, because if you get it full you run the risk of an overflow, and you don't want that. So what a buffer of this type is good for is smoothing out the speed of data. For example, if you're typing data in on a keyboard, usually you're typing at a kind of an irregular rate of speed. A buffer can smooth that out and spit those data bits, binary digits, out at a constant rate of speed. More commonly in internet applications, it can take data that comes in relatively faster at an irregular rate and smooth it out. But it can't be very much faster for very long, or you're going to get an overflow. And a buffer of this type can never make data come out any faster than it goes in. I mean, that would be like creating something from nothing. You can never do that. So that's how a first in, first out buffer works. Whereas, in contrast to that, you can have a buffer that is better, it's easier to think of it in a vertical orientation like this. Now you put data in at the top, and no, you don't pull it out of the bottom. I'm getting ahead of myself. I wish you could. You take it out of the top too. So you put data in and you take it out from the top. As you put your data in here, bit by bit, it slides all the way down to the bottom and stacks up. This is a last in, first out buffer, also known, not surprisingly, as a stack, or sometimes a push down stack. You put data in, it goes down, and it stacks up. Then when you start to take it out, you have to take it off the top, so the last stuff that you put in is the first stuff that you take out. And this kind of a buffer is more commonly used to store data that you're going to take out a while later. It's not so much used to smooth out the speed of data, because if you tried to use it for that application, it would reverse the order of the bits. And you usually don't want that. In a data stream, you want the bits to come out in the same order they went in. So this is a last in, first out buffer, a stack. Again, as with the first in, first out, or FIFO buffer, you do not want to attempt to put more data in there than it can hold. So if it starts to get close to getting full, you better slow yourself down. You never want an overflow. You ever heard of a stack overflow? That's not a good thing to have happen. And that's sort of what will happen if you put too much in there. So you got to be careful with that. But that's the difference now between the last in, first out type of buffer and the first in, first out type of buffer. So when you hear those terms now, FIFO or LIFO, stack, buffer, you'll know what people are talking about. Stan Gibilisco, signing off until next time. So long.